Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and it is Tuesday, October the 5th today. Where is the time going? Um, Today, I have a wonderful card for you. We're starting with a whole new set of cards for the month of October. So, for my virtual coffee and a card, I make a package of cards for each Tuesday of the month, and each card uses the same stamp set or bundle. The purpose is that you get inspired in lots of different ways to use this stamp set and that you get lots of value for your money. So you can order the kits from me. A few weeks, like the third week of September, you order the kit for October, and then all the pieces get sent to you. I cannot include stamped images, so I do recommend that you order the matching stamp set or bundle to go with it. And you get a deal if you do so. The kit is $25 mailed anywhere, and if you purchase the bundle through me, then you get the kit for only $10. So that's definitely a good deal. So sorry to start with a sales pitch, but sometimes it's important to explain exactly how these things work. So are you ready to make this amazing card? Let's have a look. Here we go. All right, so this is the stamp set, Peaceful Cabin, and it comes with some beautiful dies, which I just love. I love the cabin. I love the how it exudes peace, actually. So I have all my stuff gathered in here. Here you can see the dies. So there's dies for the trees. There's dies for a cabin that looks like that. It's kind of an outline. My fourth card is using this piece, okay, because it's really cool. Then there is a long die to cut out the cabin. There's a long die to cut out the fox that's running through the snow. There's a fence. There's stars. There's a bunch of skinny trees. 3 skinny trees, actually. We're using one of them today. And then there's a big outline for the stamp trees, and then there's more detailed trees. So lots of things, and we're just touching, just beginning. I'm going to take this one out because we're going to need this cabin today. All right, we're going to close that up, and let's get started. So I have the card here in English, but I'm also doing classes in the Netherlands, so I've made one in Dutch as well. And the Dutch one says, Fantastische feestdagen en de beste wensen, which means wonderful Christmas days and best wishes. So Stampin' Up! Does change the words so that they suit the culture. So here is another one, also in Dutch. Elk nieuwjaar is een nieuw begin. Every new year is a new beginning. So we're starting with a basic white base, and I thought that I would show you something. Okay, this is, whoopsie, this is a very basic thing that I learned a long time ago, but just because I know it doesn't mean that other people know it. So you start with your paper trimmer. I should zoom out for a minute. Let me just see if I can do that. Here we go. There. Okay. So I have the paper trimmer, and I have a sheet of cardstock. This is thick, basic white, and it's 8.5 by 11. So instead of cutting 2 cards separately, I make 2 cards at once. So you take this plain piece of cardstock and you bring it in to 4.25 here. And this paper trimmer has an edge here so that it stays nice and straight. Close your trimmer, and then the black blade cuts and the gray blade scores. So with the gray blade, I'm going back and forth, and that makes what's called a score line. And a score line is basically the place where you're going to fold your card. So then I'm turning it around the other way, and I'm going to the halfway mark again, which is 5.5. So at 5.5, I'm now taking the dark blade, and I'm going to cut. And now I have 2 cards, 1, 2. And you just fold it in half on the score line, and you're ready to go. So you can then use a bone folder to fold it and give you a nice sharp crease. Or if you don't have a bone folder, you can just use your block. So just fold it in half, take your block, and that works really, really well. So either way is fine. So we're starting with this. The next layer is a piece of Tidings. I think it's called Tidings of Christmas. This paper is in the annual catalog, and I'm covering the whole card front. So this is 4.25 by 5.5. And you can use liquid adhesive, you can use your tape runner, whatever you prefer. So This video is going to be pre-recorded on YouTube, and I will do it as they call that a premiere. And why I do that is that you get then a notification that it's going to happen, and then I can watch with you at the same time, and I can comment with you, and I really like that. So this covers the whole card. Now I want to do one different one, and I'm not sure if I should use it in red or in green. And I think we're going to do green, just because I want to see what it looks like in it totally different, okay? So we're going to do one in green. This is beautiful paper, by the way. It's 6 by 6. But I think I may have interrupted my own stream of thought. The reason I pre-record is because the internet here just really doesn't support live streaming to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and then you get a pixelated image, and I don't like that. Okay, so here we have, see, what's nice about this is that you have a beautiful card on the outside, and then on the inside, it's white for stamping. Okay, so those are our card bases. Now we're going to take a piece of white, and I'm going to just grab my ruler here, and it is 3.5 by 4 7/8. So 3.5 by 4 7/8, and then we have a piece of black that is 3 5/8, yeah, by 5. And the reason it seems a little off is because what we're going to do is the white is going to go right to the top of the black. So there's a little line just around 3 edges, okay? Now, I got this card from my downline, my team member Yvonne, and she cased it from someone, and I don't know who. So if this is your original card design, please let me know, because this is not a Jackie original. I love it so much. I love the black and white and the red. So the first thing we're going to do with this card is we have to stamp our sentiment, and you have to make sure you leave enough room for the ribbon. So you want some room for the ribbon, and then the sentiment, and then room for the cabin. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Stamparatus. So here we have this amazing tool, and I finally caved and put some tape on my magnet to make it easier to pick up. I don't know why I waited so long, but this is just some wide masking tape, painter's tape. Thanks to Barbara, who said, she said it so nicely, could I make a suggestion, she says. And so that was really nice. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to make this one an English one. So we're going to say, may you enjoy peace of this beautiful season. So I really should put all my extra bits and bobs in an envelope. So this is going to go here. So you just lay it on your cardstock, kind of where it wants. And remember, move that over a little bit. I need to leave room for that ribbon going across. So that looks about right. Then you close it, and you're not done yet. Don't assume that just because the letters here look good, turn it around and check on your grid lines. Now that's hard to see in the video, but I'm just going to angle it a bit. It looks good. Okay, so that's great. The next thing we do is we're going to put a stamp case underneath just for some support, okay? And then we're going to take some Memento black. This is a beautiful black ink. Make sure you store it upside down when you're not using it. Our normal ink pads do that naturally, the way they're designed, but Memento doesn't. And if you store it upside down, the ink will always stay at the surface. Okay, so that's a good little trick. Tap, tap, tap. If your ink pad is a little bit older, then I recommend the twist and shout technique. Give it a little twist. But when you have a new one, it's not necessary. So here we go, a nice press. The nice thing about the Stamparatus is that if it's not dark enough, you can do it again. It's also great for multiple stamping. I would recommend this as one of your top tools when you begin stamping. There, it's beautiful. Isn't that nice? Now, do be careful on our white cardstock. Sometimes the Memento takes a few seconds to dry. So we're just going to put that aside for a minute. And I'm going to clean my stamp. The cleaner is a chamois. Now my chamois looks pretty yucky, but it doesn't leave any little bits behind. It's just with water. Someone asked me about cleaning their stamps with baby wipes, and don't do that. You can do it once in a while, but baby wipes have alcohol in them, and alcohol is not kind to stamps. So it's better not to use baby wipes, okay? In a pinch you can, but you're better off rinsing it off under the tap. If you do that, make sure you have the plug in the drain, because if it's a small little stamp, you wouldn't be the first person where the stamp goes down the drain. Okay, so I now have a few of these cabins cut out, and I'm going to just show you how. I'm going to do that on another piece of paper. Okay, so once again, we have our Stamparatus. I have a piece of cardstock, just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to lay our cabin. Make sure that your chimney is level with the top of your paper. It's just a good trick. Here we go. Ink it up. And it's fun to play with this cabin and stamp it in different colors to see which one you like better. I did a blog post that shows you the difference between early espresso, soft suede, I think crumb cake, and black. And it's, oh, I don't know why I felt I had to move that over. So there it is. And then there's no trick to stamping this and cutting it like quickly and often. And I'm not going to do the big shot. I have a thing that I don't like using the die cutting machine in videos. So this just goes with this die here. So you lay it down and make sure that it's tight to the roof, and then and make sure this little piece is even, and then it goes through. Really cute. And what you end up with is this. Now make sure you trim it to 3 1/2, because look, it's going to go on here, and now it's too wide. The pieces are sticking out. You don't want that. So we're going to get our trimmer and trim it to 3 1/2. I'm just going to take a little bit off of each end. 1, and now 3 1/2. There. Oh, my whole thing came out. How did that happen? Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, so here we have it again. I fixed my trimmer. So you go to 3 1/2. And then we're just going to trim that little bit off. And now my cabin is the same width as my panel. Okay, so let's get the trimmer out of the way. And now let's kind of eye this up a little bit. So the cabin is going to be down here. And I want my trees to be sticking up around the cabin. Okay. So we're going to ink up the trees with Memento. I kind of just want to play with this stamp set all day long. Just don't have enough time to play. Make sure you play with your stuff. It's so much fun. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to decide to put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give it a few seconds to transfer. And there we have it. And then, oh, doesn't that just look so nice? Okay, so the next step is we need to find that cute little black tree, which I have hiding here underneath all my stuff. And then again, I just tuck it in behind to see how that's going to look, and that looks good. So we'll do that first. I'm going to grab my silicone mat and just flip it over. And I'm just going to put some adhesive near the bottom and in the middle. Oh, no, it's not going. There. Okay. And then just tuck that away a little bit. There. We don't want adhesive sticking where we don't want it to be. Okay. So I'm going to put that about. So I want that skinny tree to stick up behind the other ones. There we go. And now this is going to go down. You could pop it up. Maybe I will try that. First, we're going to put it on our black panel. Okay. So put some adhesive on the back. If your adhesive thing isn't doing anything, just advance it a little bit with your thumb. Or your finger, whatever. Mine's not. Mine's totally stubborn. Doesn't want to do a thing. Oh, I see. A trick. If your adhesive is not working properly, just take it out for a minute, carefully, and then look. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a whole pile of junk on here. So clean that off. Just take it off because it was getting caught on that. And then take the other side and make sure there's no stuff on it anymore that will catch. And then carefully put it back in. Put it together again. There we go. And now we can advance it, I hope. There it goes. There. Nice. And remember to put it right to the top in the middle. Okay? And when they look about right, then commit and let it go down. There we go. Now we're going to tie our bow around the top. And then we're going to pop it up on the card. And I do not tie the ribbon. I leave it on the spool until I have my bow tied. And I try not to waste ribbon. Tie it nice and tight. Our cardstock is strong. Loop, loop around, tie it. Once it's on, you can fiddle with it to make sure that it is pretty the way you want it to be. You can manipulate it. So now we're going to put that away. And I'm going to put it on the other base just to see how it looks. Oh, isn't that nice? I do like that a lot. I'm surprised. I didn't think I would. We'll turn that around and guess what? Another surprise. We have black dimensionals. I love black dimensionals. So nice to have them on a black card so you don't see those white dimensionals sticking out. I will have a supply list in the description of the video, and you could just click on them to order and shop with me online if you live in Canada. Okay, we're not allowed to sell cross-border, but in Europe we can. I'll see if I can put the link for shopping with me in the Netherlands. Otherwise, if you're in the Netherlands and you want to shop with me, just send me a message. We'll figure it out together. Okay, so now make sure you're near the top of the card and then commit. Down we go. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Now, the house is going to go on, and we're going to pop it up too. Now, I'm not going to use black dimensionals here because it's on a white piece of paper. Okay, so we're going to use white dimensionals. And that'll do. Our cardstock is quite sturdy, so you don't have to wallpaper the back with dimensionals. That's not necessary. No one's going to park a car on it. They're just going to put it on the mantle. So now you want to line it up with your white corners at the bottom. There. Oh my goodness. Isn't that pretty? The last thing we're going to do is use this die here. And I see I have some little bits in it. And we're going to cut that out with, let me just have a look-see. I have a piece of paper that's quite special, and I'm going to find it. Okay, hold on. So that special paper that I was talking about is just plain old white cardstock. On the back is a sticker sheet. And you're thinking, well, how the heck did you do that? Well, hidden in our catalog are these permanent adhesive sheets, and they're 6 by 12. So you can just cut a piece of 12 by 12 paper, or you can cut it in any size. You can cut it the size of a card front. I just like to cut a big piece of paper, and then anything I stamp on here becomes a sticker. It's absolutely wonderful for the little things. So here I have my little white snowflakes. So we're going to take a few of those off. Sometimes I take a pokey tool. Oh no, it didn't work. And then I can get the little sticker backing off. I'm not going to lie, it's fussy. But there we go, I have it off. Now it's stuck on here, and see, just tone on tone. You could probably do this with glimmer paper or our new vellum. See, now I did it, I managed it. I just got the backing off, and now I'm just going to, oops, pick it up, poke it through, and it just fell. And there it is. And here's another one. And I'm not going to put them all on, I don't think. Well, we'll see. I shouldn't be a chicken. I'll try to do one more. Yeah, that worked out really well. Okay, then you poke it through the back. Oops, that was the wrong thing. There it is. grab it with your pokey tool. And how pretty is that? And then the last thing you can do is you could add a little wink of Stella to make it sparkle, or you can add some rhinestones. There's lots of easy ways to make it better. I found these little sequins, and I don't even know where they're from, but this is the joy of getting kits from Stampin' Up. They always come with all cute little embellishments, and I save the ones because you always have way more than what you need. So even though I can't say, oh, buy them here or here, our kits are great. And so I'm just going to add a few of those because a little sparkle is just so much fun. There. So that's the finished card. I think that's a lot of fun. I love the way it turned out. Here we go. It looks great with the stripe paper and it looks great with the dark paper. So some of you in your kits may have received a different paper than the striped, although trust me, I ordered a whole extra pack of paper just so that most of you would get the stripes. And now I think, wow, that was silly. It looks great in the other pattern as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. I love it. I love doing these videos with you. I love reading your comments. I hope you join me on my blog as well, thepamperedstamper.com. I have lots of tutorials there. I try to blog 3 times a week. I have a business Facebook page, The Pampered Stamper, and I'm always looking for people to join my team. If you love to stamp and you love your own discount or you want to build a business, anything at all, I'm here to help you. I'm your person. I also have a training group on Facebook where I do a weekly video and you get monthly tutorials. And I do personal training really there, but in a group setting. So if you have questions, I deal with it. And that group is open to demonstrators all over the world. So I love connecting with you in so many different ways. Have a super day. Bye.